Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the SU-8. It's the Tier 6 Soviet SPG. We're on the northeast spawn of Arctic Region under the command of LZYS. Game on. Well, this replay is from earlier this year. Yes, it appeared in my inbox, but I didn't get a chance to do it in time. And it sat there in the list waiting to be done. But LZYS has actually sent in another replay. And it happens to be for the same Arty, so I put both of them together in the same video. Okay, 152mm howitzer, capable of doing 550 alpha, penetrating 38mm of armor with a 6.7m burst radius. The SU-8, with its reload speed, which is very good, has actually replaced the M44 as one of the best Artys in the game, or one of the most fun Artys in the game, mainly due to its massive fire rate. The fact that you can actually get lots of damage on the enemy. Well, he's aiming up onto the what I would call the duck, because it's if you look at the mini-map, it looks like a duck, and the opposite one on the other side looks like a mouse or a cat. It's your choice as to what you actually call it. Now he's actually aiming over here because there's a comet hiding behind that rock, shooting away at our teammates. We've landed in a Tier 8 game with Tier 6 Arty. Rounds out, direct hit. Good ones, 165. Should mention he did actually get 106 off the ARL B39, and then he got stun assist on that as well. So he's now doing quite nicely. Well, up on top of the duck, we've got a Arty now, trying to move forward. Okay, we're fully dialed in, rounds out, and well, it hits the ground, but the Arty may have been near to that when it landed. Okay, the SU-8, an Arty that never got built, which should have been built, because the Soviet Union had loads of T-28s available before the start of the Second World War, and they should have thought about having SPGs available, and this would have been quite an interesting SPG to have, but I'm afraid it never got built because most of the T-28s that the Soviets did have in their stockpiles were wiped out fairly quickly by the Germans, and the reason for that, well, they were being phased out in favor of the T-34. From this position at the moment, he's not got much to shoot at. Yeah, I'm afraid there's not much he can go at, but there are some enemy tanks down to the south. Now, he can definitely hit these guys. Lining up a shot on the KV-3, but he's got no shot there. Trying to get the lurber. Only got the top of the turret to see. Now he can hit him. He should have fired there. Now he's definitely lined up, so he should fire. Well, it hit the front of the vehicle and did no damage whatsoever. And that was an HE round. It should have, at the very least, exploded and blown up. But yes, I do know that during World War II they were firing some shells and they were complete duds. There was nothing happening. Even if they landed the shell right on top of the target, all it would do was make a slight dent in the armor, and that would be the end of it. It really does happen in real life. In reality, you get some shells which are fired and you get nothing. In fact, it's even happening today, as I know, but the quality control has got a lot better since then. And now, obviously, you're much less likely to have shells which actually do reach the target and then don't do anything at all. It depends, I suppose, on the host country, or the country that actually produces the shell. Well, that was a useful shell on the VK because he goes down to the T-52. And that's really helped that T-52 gain a kill. But look, we've got tanks coming up. Our Baraska's changed position. He's moved back into the tree line. Now, really, we need him to spot for us and show us where the enemy is. Even got tanks on our team coming up behind these guys now. We're only 2 tanks up on the enemy, but the enemy are in a kind of sticky situation when they've got our tanks in front and behind them. Well, he gets some hit points, 172 off the AT-7. The AT-7 is now taking damage from the Brass, which means we're picking up stun assist. LZYS is quite happy with that. The Barras, of course, has to pull back and reload. And it looks like the AT-7 is getting at least one shot on him. And that's another good hit. Stuns him, slows him down, lets the Barras get behind the guy. He's only got a gun at the pointy end, so you need to make sure you get behind the vehicle or wipe him out. And he does. Now, looking down here, there are still some enemy tanks. We've got a Lurva. And I believe they've got an Object 274A down there as well. Most of the tanks that are actually held up on the west route are now coming down towards the enemy. Meanwhile, the Lurva's making an assault towards us. Got the Barask in the tree line. Rounds out. Oh, a kill shot. Lovely. 78 hit points. Okay, Yarbus has changed position, not only so he can get good shots down on the enemy side of the map, but also so he might be able to get shots in a different direction. The 274 has actually hit it back to his own cap, and we're now aiming at him. And that's a nice near miss for 128. He's got rid of his stun straight away, because obviously it would handicap him. A lot of these tanks are trying to use their first aid kits the moment they can to get rid of any stun, but once they get re-stunned, it's very difficult for them to do it a second time. Oh, enemy Arty? Or is it? No, it's actually just the car came back into view. We can't see the 274. He's gone behind the rocks. So Yarbus is changing position yet again. Normally I advise players, if they're in this sort of situation, move forward, get closer to the enemy. Not only increases your reaction time, but it might actually open up some angles of attack that you didn't have before. At the moment, he can't hit this Panther. Not just yet. He's got a red line. But if he pulls back, he might be able to get a shot on him. Now, he's holding up our SU-130PM at the moment. We just saw the tracer coming from their enemy Arty. Can we get a shot in this car? Yes, he can. If he backs up, but he has to back up a bit more. Okay, now he has. Okay, line it up. Oh, we missed the opportunity there to get a good shot in. But he's got it back again. Lined up. Rounds out. Good solid hit for 193. This guy's stunned. Doesn't appear to be getting rid of his stun. But he has cleared it now anyway. Just saw another tracer coming from the enemy RT, which is an M44. He's in the back of the trees. There's only 3 enemies remaining. That Kari, an M44, and their Panther M10. The Panther M10 has gone up to try and take out the SU-130PM. Our Barask is going through the gully, trying to come up behind. We've got a shot. I take it to stun this guy. Bounce out. Well, it stuns him, but unfortunately we did lose the SU-130PM. But the Barask is coming up behind that Panther very, very, very quickly. The Kari, on the other hand, is actually just killed our Panther M10. Was it? No, he hasn't actually. But the Panther M10 on the enemy team has gone down. And now we've taken out the Kari, which means now only the RT left. Admittedly, he's back in the trees, so he can move forward and get a bit closer. But I'm not sure he's going to get there in time. They're indicating the corner for the Barask. He's got the range to put the shell in there. We're fully loaded, ready to go. They just need the brass to tell us where he is. We'll stun him. He's actually in the corner. So we do know he's down there. He's just hiding around the corner. And the brass doesn't want to get shotgunned. But he has been taken out by the Barask. And that's the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats. That was a first-class tanker for Yarbus in the SU-8. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, he managed to get 7. And he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team, despite the fact that he got 2 kills in the game. His win rate, 2,335, which is very good. He didn't get the highest damage in the game. No, that went to the Barask, who was doing very, very well indeed. He got the high caliber and top gun for 4,006 hit points of damage and 6 kills. Second highest was the Object 274A on the enemy team. We didn't see him get killed, but I think he did get killed by one of our team member, possibly the Barask. He got 3,260 hit points. In fact, we can confirm if it was the Barask. Yes, it was actually. Yes, it was. It's that player. And in third place on damage, we've got the SU-130 PM White Ghost. Unfortunately, 2,606 hit points of damage, but he did get taken out by the Panther M10. Yarbas picked up 1,366 hit points of damage. Now, there were 4 members of the enemy team who managed to get more hit points than he did, and there's 3 on his own team, which puts him in 8th place overall on damage. When it came to kills, it was the Brass with 6. 4 kills went to the Object 274A, 3 kills went to the T52, and in joint 4th place, we've got Yarbas with 2 kills, so did the T28 HTC, and 3 members of the enemy team, their Panther M10, their Kari, and their Shrek. When it came to base XP, he's in 3rd place on this one. 1,476 went to the Brass, 1,126 went to the T52. The only 2 players who managed to get over 1,000 base, with Yarbas getting the 3rd slot, with 852 being the next highest player on base XP. He fired 13 rounds, decent amount of ammunition, 7 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but he did get 11 splash. Damage of 1,366 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 2. 745 hit points of stun assist off 10 stuns. Now on a premium count, he earned 74,657 credits profit, and he got 30 bonds out of that game, as well as 6,390 experience points. So a nice first-class tanker, and this game took place on the 16th of April earlier this year. Let's have a look at the second replay. The second replay is on the south spawn of Overlord, and alongside us is another SU-8. So the enemy team have only got a Burt and an SU-8 on their team, but they do have a rather good Burt player, so this should be quite interesting. Of course, these being fast-firing Artys does make all the difference. Whenever you have 2 very, very fast-firing Artys and they indicate the target they're going for, they sometimes coordinate, and that can be devastating for the enemy, because it not only means that they're going to go after the same target, but it means they get double tapped, and that can be lethal when it comes to getting kills. Okay, enemy target in sight, Skoda T25. We're dialing in very, very rapidly because this Arty does dial in quick. He's hesitating a lot before he shoots, but the AMD comes flying in, and now we're going for the Hellcat. Round south. Well, it looked like it overshot the Hellcat. There's a lot of hesitation coming on from Yarbas, I think. What he could do is he could, when he does line up like that, because this Arty will dial in very, very quickly, because it's got very narrow arc of fire. It's only 17 degrees, 5 degrees to the left, 12 degrees to the right. And as soon as you're dialed in, you're ready to go rock and roll. And you get that. That's what you get. 197, a very quick shot, but it can work sometimes. Just have to trust that it is fully dialed in, and then let loose as soon as you are and ready to go. He's ready. Oh, he hesitated there, you see, and he got a bit of reticule bloom just when he didn't want it, because he went outside the arc. If he fired the moment he had it lined up, then I think he probably would have hit the Hellcat. In fact, whoa! Well, that AMD driver needs driving lessons. That Hellcat just went down. And unfortunately, the shell that we fired in there didn't get a kill, but that was very interesting. The 40 TP goes down. Now, we're keeping at even score at the moment, but look at this. We've got a Type, and over here we've got a T37 and a Cromwell. He's loaded. Fire now. Oh, just missed the opportunity. Line it up. Bounce out. Looks good. It's a direct hit. And it was a direct hit on the T37 for 175. So he's now hurting, going after the Cromwell. It helps if you mark the target though, because otherwise teammates don't know that that's what you're aiming for. Just put the reticule over it, press the T key, and then they know that that's the target you're going for. Lovely hit on the rear of that Cromwell. He picked up another 225. Now these are basically half of the alpha for a non-penetrating shot, but you can see how heavily the enemy is invested on that side of the battlefield we might have to retreat from this area very, very shortly, because if we don't, then we might be overrun. Okay, Cromwell making his way through the dip, or the bowl, I should say. Get a shot on this guy. When they're going towards you and away from you, that's when it's easiest to get the hit. Unfortunately, he missed the chance there, but now he can get it. Wait until they're going away from you or towards you, because it's much easier to line the shot up. Okay, stationary, rounds out. Well, landed behind him for 175. It all counts. The guy's stunned. He is taking fire. Okay, now he's gone into cover, but he's not in cover from you. And so you can put another shell in him. No, line that shot up with the building, because that's where he is. And he fires it in. That's a good guess on where he might be. You need to start worrying about the enemy tanks, though, on the right flank. Okay, he didn't get the Cromwell, but he can get him if he can get it lined up. That's it. Now. And he gets a kill shot. 184. It does work, honestly. Wait until they're actually moving away or towards you, then it becomes much easier to get a kill shot. Now, we've got an enemy tank harassing our KV-2. It's the T-37. Get a shot on him. He's moving away from us. Now's to do. Rounds out. Lands near him, but it stuns him, and that's going to slow him down a little. Oh, the KV-2 went down. It does look like he's got a stock gun as well, unfortunately. This could be very dangerous, actually, because there are 3 light tanks on the enemy team on the right flank. Our guys are going for the cap, and it might be time for GeForce to move away from this cap area. At the moment, he's the only one up here other than the 40TP who's south of the bowl. And the T-37 is heading in our direction. Can we get a shot on him? He's coming. Here we go. Oh, it's a beautiful shot, but he's 1 hit point short of what he needs. That's wargaming for you. I'm afraid a lot of that happening where tanks get left on just 1 hit point. And now that guy's coming towards him at close range. Let's see the Arty fire coming in from the guy who's on the beach. We're reversing down the chine. Now, I'm certain that T-37 is going to try and come after us. He's sitting just the other side of the cap. There he is. Line the shot up. See if we can do it. Did get the kill. In fact, that guy was very close. Oh, we got another one coming in. Whilst we're looking here, another enemy tank is actually really close to us. It's the AMD. Now, we need to get the kill here. Line it up. Oh, yes! Right in the face! Thank you very much. He's sent back to the garage, having faced an Arty at point blank range, and now he's regretting his life choices. The SU-8 on the other side of the battlefield came forward because obviously he was having issues with our guys at the other end. Oh, we're being hit by the MT-25. Oh, and he goes to the same place. Back to the garage. 2 shotguns at close range. That's bound to get him a medal. Very well done by GeForce. Enemy tanks going towards you or away from you. What a fantastic end to that game that was. That was a second-class tank of a GeForce in the SU-8. He got a medal that's very rare to get nowadays because most enemy tanks, light tanks, get too close and they take out the Arty because obviously the shotguns don't work until you actually point-blank range. But he did it perfectly. He got a cold-blooded medal. He took out 2 enemy light tanks from a distance of not more than 100 meters. And he shotgunned both of them in the face. Very well done indeed. He also got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. Duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him. Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in the game. He managed to get 6. And he also got a Starks medal on top of all of that. He killed at least 2 enemy tanks. He took at least 2/3 hit points of his vehicle in damage, and he survived the battle, having lost 2/3 of his hit points or thereabouts. Yeah, very well played. The Starks medal is difficult to get because sometimes it normally means you get completely wrecked or wiped out. But those enemy tanks did get shots on GeForce, but he managed to shotgun them right in the face. Win 8 of 2,543, which is Unicum standard. Very well done. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he did get the highest damage on his team, but he didn't get the highest damage overall. And what I said right at the start of the battle about the FV304 being a really good player, yes, he was. He got a high caliber in that game, would you believe it? 2,454 hit points went to Lightning 1928. I don't think that's his real name, but he certainly did exceptionally well in a very difficult to play tank and got a huge amount of hit points. Second highest damage in the game turned out to be Yarbaz with 1,458 hit points. And third highest on damage was the VK3002M on his own team with 1,270. When it came to kills, though, it was shared at the top between Yarbaz and that FV304. They both got 4 kills apiece. 3 kills went to the KB2, who actually I think had the stock gun, or is it maybe the 107mm? And 2 kills went to the MT25 on the enemy team and the VK3002M on his own team. Of course, the MT25 was coming in for the 3rd kill when he finally met a 152mm shell going the opposite direction, and that was the end of his game. When it came to base XP, it's Yarbaz. Yes, he got the highest on that one. So he got 758 on that. 745 went to the VK3002M, and 640 went to the T150 on our team. Yarbaz fired 15 rounds, a decent amount of ammunition expended, and he got good results. 7 direct hits on the enemy. None of them penetrated, funnily enough. Even the 2 shotguns he did, they didn't pen, but they did do sufficient damage to the outside of the vehicles that they were wiped out. 12 splashes as well. 1,458 hit points of damage, of which 956 were at more than 300 meters. The close stuff, 500 hit points, was actually at close range. 2 hits received, both penetrations, I'm afraid, yes, because the armor on the SU-8 isn't particularly strong, based on the T28 tanks, so the armor's fairly light. He had 5 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 were killed, and he got 137 hit points, a stun assist of 8 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 16,871 credits for that game. He also picked up 25 bonds because he got a mission achievement, and 1,137 experience points. But what a way to end the game. 2 shotguns at close range. The enemy, well, he must have been thinking, oh my god, this Arty's fully loaded. Well, they thought that they were going to get an easy kill, actually. No, they didn't think that this Arty's fully loaded. They thought that the Yarbaz was going to be an easy kill for them, and it turned out to be the other way around. They were the easy kill for him, and he was perfectly lined up. Just as I said when we were doing the commentary, try to shoot at tanks that are running away from you or going towards you, because they're much easier to hit. And that's precisely what happened when he backed off down the chine. The enemy had to come directly towards him, and he just lined the shot up, and bang, they go out of the game, back to the garage. So 2 really good battles by Yarbaz, one where he earns the Confederate, and the other one where he stays alive the right way by wiping out enemy tanks, one of them being a wheelie, which is even better still. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.